Hey there, this is Remco from the Pixel Lab. I'm going to create a small tutorial about how to create a material and some lights in Arnold. Um, I presume you do have Arnold and you know a little bit about basics, so I'm not going to go over everything. I'm just going to make something and you can follow along the way, so it'll be a quick one. First of all, I'm going to create a Arnold surface network. So I'll create a standard surface shader, open the network editor. First material we're going to make is a flat material. Type in flat, drag it into the network editor, put the output in the Arnold Beauty and select a color. This is going to be my background color, so I'll make it sort of dark gray. That's my first material. We'll call this background and close the network editor. Then we'll create a Cinema 4D background, drag the shader onto the background, and I'm going to create a new shader, Arnold surface, standard surface, and this is going to be our shadow caster. Open network editor, excuse me, shadow, matte. Get rid of the standard surface, put the output in the Arnold Beauty, close this one again, and we'll create a plane. Plane is over here. Make it quite large, 2,500 by 2,500, maybe 1, 1. Oh, I mean 1 tap 1. I said 1 tap 1. Create this shadow onto, put the shadow onto the plane. Next step, Arnold sky. In the sky properties I'm going to use a texture, and that's going to be a HDR. If we click on the sky, we can put the camera to 0. That way we won't see the camera in the IPR. And create a, well, what are we going to make today? Maybe kind of a concrete or I don't know. I'll just add a cube. Give it some roundness so we can see the reflections on the edges a bit better, and create a new Arnold surface, standard surface shader, and this is going to be our cube. Drag the material onto the cube, so now we do have a little scene, and let's create an Arnold quad light and point it at the cube. Look at the cube. So we have a bit more control over our specular. Maybe another one. And let's drag that one. Somewhere around here, I don't know. Just to get a few more reflective points. The Arnold lights are quite sharp, so we'll put the roundness, and this is the softbox effect. The intensity can go a bit up. This is for both, I think I did it. Oh no, for that one we didn't. Okay. And let's start the IPR to see if we do have something that looks okay. Yep, looks okay. So the background is now showing and the plane is showing the shadow. So this is our little scene. and this is our cube. So that's standard Arnold. Oh, and let's get it to in our render settings. Go to Arnold, Arnold renderer, and I'll increase the rig depth a little bit so it bounces a bit more and get a bit their image. So go to our cube, open our network editor, close this one again, and let's see what we can do with the standard surface shader. Our standard surface is now, it always starts at 0.8, I don't know why. So 0 is completely black, and 1 is the pure white color. By default it's plastic. If we'll go to metal, you see it's metal. We'll go to glass, now we'll get a glass. Oh, important. Let's say we have this glass shader. You need to get a Arnold parameter tag and click the opaque button. Everything that has glass material needs to be opaque. That said, we'll go to skin. That automatically adds a subsurface weight, and thin, I really don't know what it does. So back to plastic, completely white. Let's say we want to give this some bump. No, first of all, let's say we want to give it some color. Then we can go to a color, layer color shader, and we'll go and put this one into the main base color. And if we open the shader, you can see it's made up out of 8 layers. They all do have an alpha. You can just click on a color. So this is our main color. These are all alpha zeros, so it's looking down. And for instance, if we create a blue and put this all the way up, then this overrides this one and it'll be completely blue. This mixes them together, and like in Photoshop you do have the ability to overlay or multiply or hard light, soft light, etc. Let's click out for this one and create a noise. You can use a C4D noise. We're used to that one. The other noise is a Arnold noise. You can crank up the octaves and go to the UV cube coordinates, and if you drag this one up to let's see 25, they all go up 25 because the uniform scale is up. Let's see, 10 might be a good one. The distortion, this is what the Arnold noise does. Great, but we're going to use a C4D noise right now, so we'll get rid of this one. C4D noise is, I guess you're all familiar with that one. So for this one I'll be using Luca, like Luca. Global scale can be set to maybe 500, maybe a bit more, 1000, 8000, and let's increase the low clip and high clip so we can see what this does. So we're going to use this as an alpha for our second layer. This is quite harsh, so let's bring this down, this white one a bit down, so it won't give everything away. And we're going to put this one into the main layer 2 alpha. And our alpha was off, and if we put it on again and create the mode to normal, then we should PRPR. Oh, sorry, my output has to go to the Arnold Beauty. And okay, so because this is quite gray, you see, so you can see what this does. Now, for instance, if we want to make a sort of a concrete, we'll go to a gray color for both of them. One a bit lighter than the other one, a bit darker, a little bit too dark. So this has some shading. Let's make another one. So we do have a base color that's a little lighter gray than our second layer. The second layer has the alpha of the C4D noise, this one. And let's copy this one, change the seed, put it in our main layer 3 alpha, go to our layer color, make this one a bit lighter than the other ones. Just override and again, control click, drag it in main, layer 4 alpha, go to our layer color, layer 4 alpha, maybe a bit darker. We need to change the seed on this one again, etc, etc. So if we keep doing this, maybe scale this one down to 500 and change the seed and go to our main layer 5 alpha. We'll go to our layer 5, it's black now, let's make it a bit lighter again and make another one, and let's this time change the noise to OXO and from absolute to this one. Put it on our main layer 6 alpha, go to layer 6 and we'll get this on our layer 6. Maybe another one. I'm just doing this so you can see it's repetitive, so see what I'm doing. And go to our layer color and layer 7 alpha is normal. It's going to make it completely white. So the variation in this shader is quite large. This is our main color now. We can also use this one to drive a bump or maybe a specular map. So let's create a bump map. A bump 2D. We're going to create a main bump map and put the output and the main emission normal. As you can see, it's already creating. This is quite a large object. It's I think 2 by 2 meters. Yeah. So let's change it to, let's say, 50 by 50 by 50 and put it down so we get a little better. You can change the height to 0.1 as well, so you get a little bit dense. Well, it looks a bit like concrete, right? Maybe the colors are a bit too harsh. What we can do is color correct this. So the output from our layer color goes into the main input, and this goes again into the base color. Whoops, organize this a little bit better. Well, we can darken this, we can lighten it. This looks a little bit more like concrete, I think. The geometry is, well, it's okay, but I think the bump can be minus 0.5 and that'll be okay. It's quite reflective, so in a standard surface shader we can use this color correct the output as a main specular weight. Okay, so there's our sphere again. This one can be a bit brighter. And create a new standard surface shader. Stop the IPR, open the standard surface shader, open the notebook editor, and let's find an image that says wood. Texture. Okay, here's a wood texture. Here's a wood texture. I don't know what it is. It's quite small, so let's get this is a wood texture. This is free, download free. I don't know. Seems great. Save image to desktop. Thank you very much, Google. This is just for learning purposes, so I'm not going to steal this texture. Drag it into here. You can also create a image shader, and then it asks for the wood where you can find it. So get rid of this one. Oh, sorry. There's my wood. Put it into the base color. So there's our wood. I want to create a little bump for the wood, so we make a color corrector and drag that into the main input and go to the Arnold Beauty. We can assign this one already to the sphere and start the IPR to see what the effect does. Thank you. Color corrected. I'll give the sphere some subdivisions because this doesn't, Arnold doesn't use render perfect. The output, so the saturation is going to be 0, our contrast is going to go up, and this we're going to use this for a bump map. Bump 2D, create this one, main bump map, and create it in our, this just doesn't look right, why not? This doesn't work that way. Create a main geometry, normal, create this output, and there we have our wooden texture. So the bump is, it's okay, maybe a bit too much. So we'll come to our bump 2D, 1 centimeter was too much, so let's say 0.5, that's better. We can also use this color corrected images to drive our reflectiveness, and I'm going to make it a bit darker then, and the contrast a bit lower. So this is how reflective our material is going to be. So we'll drag this into our standard surface main specular weight. And put the output in the Arnold Beauty again. And now you can see it's a bit more diffused. Let's make this, this one a bit larger so we can see the reflectiveness a bit better. And crank up the exposure to get the reflective highlights that we want. Okay, go to our specular, roughness is set to 0.1, and if we crank this one up, this will make it more like it's lacquered. What we also can do is create a coat, so that's a little shiny layer. And as you can see, you can create control the coat roughness, coat color, and so forth. Let's give it a little coat. And maybe the coat roughness can be controlled as well by the color-corrected image. Let's have a look again and maybe create a new one. So this one is going to be a bit lighter. Let's turn up the contrast even more. Okay, so we're going to drive the coat with this one. Main, coat, weight. And put this one in the Arnold Beauty again. And now the reflection is not all the way. I think this material looks quite nice. So this is how you make a wooden shader. Well, it looks great. That's how we create wood in Arnold. So I'll wrap it up here because it's taking too much time. And I'm getting a phone call. So I hope to see you next time. This was just quick and dirty me fiddling around in Arnold, and well, I hope you've learned something. Maybe not. Leave something in the comments, and if you have any questions or you want to see a tutorial on something else like modeling, I'll do that as well. So I'll be back. Thanks. Bye bye.